farmer and the bear. Once upon a time, a farmer and a bear decided to raise a crop together. "We will go halvesies," said the farmer. "You can take all that grows above ground, and I'll take the roots." The bear liked the deal, and they began to work. The farmer harnessed the bear and tilled the field with him as if he were an ox. They planted the field with potatoes. The bear was pleased with the rich green growth, promising a plentiful harvest. When the fall came, they cut all the stalks, and Bear carried them to his cave. Then he helped the farmer dig up the potatoes. His claws were very useful for this task. "Are you sure you want to keep all these ugly roots?" asked the bear, panting under the weight of the huge bags. Let's just do it," the farmer said. "I may find some use for them." In the middle of the winter, the bear went to the farmer to complain about the crop. To his surprise, the farmer's wife brought a huge pot of steaming potatoes to the table. The bear dug in eagerly, but he didn't speak a word throughout the dinner. After dinner, when it was time to go, he gave the farmer a bear hug, and then another, and then another, nearly breaking all of his ribs. The farmer thought that his time was up. All right, he gasped. The deal is off. You don't have to work with me anymore." "Oh, no," said the bear. "The deal is on, but this year I'll get the roots, and you take the tops." The farmer, half dead, thought he might as well agree and tried to say yes. It sounded more like yeah. They worked hard the next spring. The bear seemed to enjoy toiling even under the moonlight, and he encouraged the farmer to do the same. They sowed the field with wheat. In the fall, they cut and dug tirelessly. The grains went into the farmer's barn and all the roots into the bear's cave. Not a single one was lost. Winter came again. In the middle of December, the farmer was cutting wood in the forest. Suddenly, he heard a tremendous roar. And from the thicket ran the bear, starved and mean, ready to tear the man to pieces. Dear bear, said the farmer, of course you are welcome to eat me. I gather you are cold and hungry, but why don't you let me finish cutting this log? Then you can warm yourself by the fire, since I won't have any use for the wood anymore. The bear agreed, and the farmer drove a wedge deep into the log. It somehow happened that the log wouldn't split, and the wedge got stuck deep inside. Excuse me, dear bear, said the farmer. Would you please give me a helping paw here? Just hold this cleft open while I'll drive the wedge in. But the moment the bear put his claws inside the crack, the farmer quickly sprung the wedge out and the gap closed. Howled the bear so loud that the tree leaves shook for miles around. Get me out! Hurry! Yep, right away, said the farmer. He took his sledgehammer, spread his feet wide apart, lifted it high above his head, and with one blow, knocked the bear dead. Since then, as far as I know, bears seem to have lost all interest in farming.